What's up, guys? I just got a new seed finding program and it is so much better than all the old ones I've been using. I've been using it to find some really extremely amazing and cool things. So I thought I'd showcase some of just the first few things that I found using this cool program. And I don't know why I started flying towards this village. I mean, it's kind of cool, but what I think is actually the best part of this seed is that here, right near spawn, there is a double buried treasure. It kind of makes this thing. And I know we're all wondering, like, is it gonna be like glitched, or like, is it only gonna have half the loot, or is it gonna have double? Well, it seems like it kind of split it just the right way. You see, this top half has the salmon, and this bottom half has the cod with a ton of iron, 30 and 2 hearts of the sea, which is normally impossible, but these two spawn right next to each other. So now 1.21.5 added these cool, like, I guess kind of cool leaf things, and also, where is one? Like a fallen tree, yeah, like right here, like used to be in Bedrock, or still is in Bedrock Edition. And so I tried to work to find some of these, but it wasn't working, so I decided to test it on pumpkin patches, and I found pretty quickly this pumpkin patch, which happens to be kind of in the shape of a creeper face. Kind of, like, do you guys see it? Tell me in the comments if I should look for like a complete, like, perfect pumpkin patch, one that's just like this, you know? Now, I usually really don't care about smallest biome type seeds because, like, they've been found a million times before, and if you have the right tools, it's pretty easy to find really small biomes. But this one was the coolest one I'd ever found. Not only is it a really tiny dark forest, but you have in it spawned a mansion. That's right, just in this cave. This is probably the deepest mansion ever found, but I'm a little bit too scared to look because if I find someone that's beaten the record, then I'll feel sad. Now, the great thing about this new program is I can actually choose which dimension it's for, which means that I was able to find not just this bastion, you know, bastions are pretty regular, but right next to it, another bastion, which is inside of another bastion. This is effectively a double bastion right next to a single bastion. You can kind of tell, it might be a little bit hard to tell if you're not well acquainted with bastions, but you can kind of tell once you get up here. This is I think it's a housing type, and then this is a bridge. And honestly, I can see why people don't really make videos about these that often. Like, it's kind of boring. It's kind of just a bigger version of a bastion. Maybe I'll try to find a triple sometime. I was looking for floating island seeds because floating islands are cool and I've been wanting to do something with them, and I found, and not only is this a crap ton of floating islands, like nothing I haven't seen before though. Like, I have plenty of seeds where there's a bunch of clustered floating islands, but this one, hold on, let me, yeah, switch to survival mode. This one perfectly makes a parkour course. Let's see how far I can go. Okay, hold on. Oh, yep, very nice. Hard jump. Oh my goodness, that tall grass kind of trying to obscure it. And yes, I have practiced this before. And it's mostly possible. Let me get to the impossible parts. Oh, this part's okay, pretend I'm good at parkour for a sec. And this is honestly one of the most creative parkour courses I've played in terms of it only just using like blocks and stuff. You even got a little waterfall there. Guys, I've never made a jump like that ever before. I was just gonna skip it after the first try because I know that I can't really do it. Oh my goodness, that's actually insane. How do you do this one again? Do you jump for that? Oh, frick. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to do something with like one of these vines, but that seems a bit tricky. Oh, frick, I forget about this part. This is actually, up to this point, it's been completely possible, but unfortunately, this part isn't. You'll just have to mind that. And that, oh my goodness, yeah, this floating lava pool, it spawned on just the right size of floating island. And sometimes you have to reload the seed, like make a new world, because if this tree burns in just the wrong way, then it's impossible. But yeah, you climb up it like that, and then that's it. It'd be great if you could get to that island there, but I'd have to look a lot longer to find a completely possible parkour course like that. And if you want to try it out, here's the seed. Try it out. Now, when I say I don't like small biome seeds, that's most of the time just because, like, someone will, like, for example, like a mesa here, or someone will be like, ooh, look, it's the smallest mesa, guys, and it'll be in a desert, and it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of how they're supposed to spawn, not really that rare. But this one, I'm getting distracted by a ravine, this one is incredible because it is, like, super rare. It is, you have this frozen river biome here next to this river biome, And oh my goodness, it even spreads like ice around a little bit. Whoa, that's cool. And yeah, it's so close, it's even touching this desert. It just spawned in this river biome, like it spawned so close to it. And the great thing about this seed is, hold on, let me get down here. It spawns a husk instead of the zombie villager. Still just as dangerous for the regular villager though. Now this is one shipwreck, and it spawned one shipwreck, and there's not really any others around. The reason why it looks all normal and stuff and only has 2 wood types is because it's just one shipwreck. Like, this is pretty average. But obviously you guys might have seen some shipwrecks that have a bunch of different wood types, and that's because multiple shipwrecks spawn inside of each other in the same spot. And this has been found with up to 3 spawning inside of each other, causing 7 different types of wood. But this one with my program, I think I found was probably the record. Not only is it kind of split like this, which is pretty cool, like this part's raised up a bit, but it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I do chair? Like, I think it has 9 wood types in it. That's almost every wood type in the game. That means that 4, actually 5, 6, because there's a lot of duplicates here on the paths. I don't know, a bunch of shipwrecks spawned inside of each other at the same spot. It must have also altered the wood ID number, because these usually, like, this definitely isn't a normal shipwreck wood color, right? It looks really bizarre too. Let's see how the loot is actually. Should be under here. Pretty terrible loot. Now, when a mushroom island, which is already pretty rare, spawns with a lush cave below it, which is also like really rare. It's a pretty rare mix. Okay, hi. Down here somewhere. Yeah, a whole bunch of lush cave. When this much lush cave spawns below a mushroom field like this, then you could sometimes get things like this with mushrooms spawning on top of trees. But this one, I decided, how far could it go? And it turns out pretty far. If they keep spawning at kind of this angle from each other, so they're in different chunks, like on a chunk border and stuff, then you could get it really high. Like, hold up, how high? All the way up to Y110. That's 32 blocks tall. Pretty tall in my opinion. I could probably find a taller one if I gave it a bit more time though. And finally, the last seed I'll be able to show today, I still gotta put my program to use. I only got it like a month ago. It's technically air exposed. Let me try to remember the correct way to get to it. Yeah, like this, and then, okay, yeah, like this. Then you'll come across a portal room, but no ordinary portal room, for not only is this a glitched end portal, which are always... Sorry, I'm getting breathless. Not only are these incredibly rare, but this is the first time I've ever seen a pause button pattern like this, with it needing 10 eyes for it to do that. Not only is 10 eyes a 1 in 10 billion chance, but it also, for it to spawn like this, and guys, let me tell you, there's this thing I didn't know, okay? I thought that something just had to spawn like this for it to work, but no. These all have to be on chunk borders. Okay, so the chunk borders on this one line up approximately like this. And you might be thinking, well, 98, this doesn't make any sense because chunks are 16 blocks by 16 blocks. And that's because, hold on, I have to explain this. Let me get MS Paint out. Basically, since 0 is neither negative or positive, and it's somewhere in the middle, then chunks actually kind of work like this, where there's a 1 block chunk, and then from there on out, then they're all 16 blocks. So that means that not only do you have a single 1x1 chunk, but every chunk in this direction is only 16 by 1. Obviously, this is gonna mess up a whole bunch of people, and MOJANG realized that people would see that their game was really flawed. And so what they did is they offset this whole thing by a kind of random amount using the world seed with something called Stafford mixing. And I'd love to get into Stafford mixing, but it's really complex. But basically, they just pick a really big number, like randomly, based on the seed, and offset this whole thing by it. Well, on this seed, it just so happened to be at along X 14,440 that this 1 block wide thing happened to be on here, and that the eyes in this chunk, if you didn't know, when a stronghold tries to generate its eyes, it generates each of the chunks that's in separately. And so this chunk thought that the rest were supposed to be 12, and which is a 1 in a trillion chance, so it generated this part. This middle chunk thought that, at least that these two eyes weren't supposed to be here, so it didn't generate it. And then this chunk right here thought it was supposed to be a 12 eye as well, and so it generated this. So if you think about it, it's actually, instead of it just being a 1 in 10 billion chance, it's actually a 1 in 1 plus 24 zeros after it, called a septillion chance. Dude, if it weren't for this new program, I don't think anyone would have ever found this ever. Definitely my greatest seed of all time. And to think that it's air exposed, like you could come across it accidentally and still fall and die in the lava.